Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Yaka, man, and there is still lots of stuff that I need to keep catching on because holy fucking shit, brother. So Nintendo has been speedrunning evilness. No, I think I'm just lying to myself. They were always evil. But to go to this degree in a couple of days? Well, I'm going to show you what's going on. So Nintendo can and will brick your Switch console for modding and piracy according to the new police update. So Nintendo has fired a warning shot that will be hackers and modders just weeks ahead of the Switch 2 launch tweak your systems on engaged in piracy and you could lose it for good. But how? Well, I know they can break consoles if they found that console being modded out. That's something that has been happening since the dawn of Xbox 360 era. Nintendo is not the exception, but the way how they are doing this user agreement, let's see. So in a quiet but sweeping update to its user agreement, Nintendo now states it reserves the right to permanently disable your consoles, yes, break it if you caught attempting to pirate games, run unauthorized software, or tamper with any of the system's protections. Do you know what this paragraph gives me? What vibes gives me? It's the same one as it was Discord, if I'm not mistaken in that one, where or it was Patreon. No, I think it was Patreon. Yeah, Patreon. They added a policy where they want to check what you do inside or outside of other platforms. What you do in other platforms could be punishable in their own one. So probably because if you have pay attention that nowadays with those consoles, they also have that attachment of social media, Xbox, Sony, and for partially with Nintendo, or even they will check your emails and see what social media have. And usually you say, yeah, fuck this shit. I just going to sell the 7 Cs using that account. Imagine saying it and getting, yeah, your console break because you something you said outside of allegedly Nintendo Reach. Welcome to the fucking dystopia. So continue on. You acknowledge that if you fail to comply with foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part the new agreement warns. So the update first reported by GameFall marks the first revision to the user terms in 2021, where the old language merely told users not to revise, engineer, or modify their accounts, which is, well, at that point is self-explanatory. Even for the most part, I will agree. Yeah, it's like to try with nullifying the warranty. You have on something to that keeps protecting you within this device. Well, the guarantee will be maybe I mistake the words here, but yeah, some like when you buy what is it a car that you are not allowed nowadays to go to certain mechanics. You have to go directly to the car company, something like that, but not with the full caveats of the car companies because I heard even some nasty shit. Well, since we went further away from the main topic, so okay, with the reverse engineer is understandable, and it says this new iteration takes a sledgehammer approach, leading devil doubt that Nintendo intends to get aggressive with piracy enforcement on the Switch 2. So preparing for the Switch 2 second era, well, Switch 2 era. They removed. I already did videos of this. They removed the rewards for every digital purchase that you could do in that platform, and they replace it with nothing, then, or maybe they're going to introduce that, but far worse. Probably the soft that Sony with the rewards for the PS Plus members. What is called? PS Stars. Yeah, I see it. How that shit works is dog shit. The best one to this day, even for all the fucking dog shit that also Microsoft have been putting out all these weeks recently. The reward system is far better because you could grind to get $1 in less than a week. With Nintendo, it was you either purchase something on the digital storefront and you could grind some digital currency. They have to get a discount of not entirely full games. None of that is there to be replaced. You know why it is. It's because they say, yeah, well, let's go full grid. So continue on. So the timing is no coincidence. The Nintendo Switch 2 is set to launch June 5th and represents a significant leap in both performance and infrastructure. I still have precepts to that with this one. While the original Switch relied heavily on cartridge, the new model is expected to lean far more into digital downloads, making it even more critical for Nintendo to protect its software ecosystem. So, translation, we are an inferior, unrestricted, and well, anti-consumer device and platform than Steam Deck. This other paragraph is the clear definition that you should get a Steam Deck at this point. Gaming laptop or just full PC with the over specs you want. And still, that PC always gets the Nintendo exclusive in some way or another. So yeah, they even when they removing the online game sharing, you know, activating your Prime console and then using your account in other ways just because yeah, I want to share the license I already have. Seriously, this they they are being so anti-consumer with this one. So that sure raises obvious concerns about piracy on the Switch and Nintendo isn't taking any chances. The new user agreement outlines a broader definition of prohibited activity, flagging anything that might bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent device protections or Nintendo's account services. You know what that sounds me to me? You know, bringing up the recent topic that is going on with that bill within Texas that is heading to outlaw anime drums or and everything that yeah it is allegedly references to real life children when there is already existing ways to know how to track that. They mentioned something about with the that ISP that they were targeting. You know, they were targeting, forcing an internet service providers to comply, and they were fighting this lawsuit. And one of the best responses they offered was, "Hey, but what if there are many users in the same router, in the same fucking Wi-Fi, and one is doing actually the legal shit that you want to punish, and the other one is just the innocent one, just because you track down the Wi-Fi." The IP direction. You are going to screw up the one that is not doing anything. You know fucking well that they don't know how to even track. Hell, even with modern games, all this quote unquote modern infrastructure, is people still get flagged. They can get flagged. So you know them well that Nintendo doesn't have a plan on this one. So continue on. Long-time Nintendo followers know this isn't coming out of nowhere. The company has an aggressive history when it comes to piracy and emulation, routinely filing lawsuits to shut down emulator platforms, run distribution sites, and even fans creating mods or homebrew tools for the fan hardware. Even it's hilarious because they are still attacking Wii games, 3DS, Game DS, Game Boy ROMs. You know, they did it with GameCube because they want to do push the oh, you want to replace this game again? You have to do it within out service. Oh, you cannot download that game. You have to play it via streaming. Just like with Xbox Game Pass, but at least you know within Game Pass is an option for that game. With for Nintendo, no, you don't have an option to download or even buy the game because that's how you attach it nowadays. So how will they know? Here's where it gets even more concerning for some gamers. Nintendo's privacy policy now allows expanded monitoring. If your device sees an error, the company collects a wide swath of data about what caused it, including what you were doing at the time. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I was explaining. So yeah, it's going to be loosely used there, and you can get false flag there. Oh, you say, oh, you have to be better in your home if you don't want to get in trouble. Well, hey, what if I live in a fucking apartment? Sure, I'm not living in an apartment. I live in my house. I have my own Wi-Fi. I'm not sharing with anyone unless they are people I know. I never share it with the neighbors. But what if you are someone that actually has to live in an apartment and you are forced to share the Wi-Fi because something you are allegedly detected? Because even game cheat, this anti-cheating software, that anti-DRM software can also false flag you and screw you out the ass. We have seen them many times with Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone. For a while. I maybe that one is not the best example, but that's the common one I always hear of. And then what other one example with this? Mm, what else? What else? Oh, Crapcon is one of those examples too. When one DRM is was working and the other one it isn't. Because they were pushing for anti-modding. They screw up the ports from Steam. So well, you can think of better examples better than me. So continue on. And with the Switch 2 adding a new game chat feature, including video and voice communications during gameplay, Nintendo has also updated its privacy policy to permit monitoring of audio and video interactions with user consent. Oh man, and since also did a rant about Nintendo of America having DI bloat, most of the time we have seen that DI sellers are very often pedophiles. Imagining with Nintendo of America, oh sure, I want to protect children. They are just salivating their mouths, man. It's just going to be insane. Parents, seriously, and this is a message for parents. St- ma- Keep your kids away from online communication like this. Unless you know the person real life and they can communicate with. But what that's just really the chance. Just do your proper job. Eh, even if you're going to ignore all the chip shop with the Nintendo Switch 2, don't allow them near this. Seriously. Nowadays, the way how they even pushing that because no so giving the example with those groomers waiting to have recordings of kids because then what is going to happen with Nintendo of America being the middle facilitating that. You can also they are going to implement this bot monitoring bullshit that is going to get the account of the console getting flagged and it's going to lead you to getting a fucking paperweight there. A fucking piece of paperweight. That's how dog shit this situation it is with Nintendo. So continue on. What this means for gamers, this mode will certainly spark debate. On one hand is Nintendo hardware and software, and the company has every right to protect it. But also, at this point, someone should stop being a fucking addicted consumer and bootlegger defender of plastic. You need to know very well when it is. You know what? Enough is enough. They fucking screw it this up. I'm not going to support those fuckers ever again. You know what? I'm going to find better alternatives. Well, I'm going to get that later. So continue on. On the other idea of remote console breaking raises serious consumer rights concerns, especially for users who may be wrongly or unintentionally violate vague terms. And they nowadays they redefine these terms and services with so vague wordings. Even if the FTC, instead of attacking Microsoft with Activision, which by the way Microsoft won, they should focus on these video game companies. They are just doing this one. In fact, you California forced Steam to say that yeah, you don't own your games. You're just owning a license. And God says, yeah, you can download games without DRM. At that point, yeah, they should redefine, force companies to start with the big wording within the TOS. But I don't think it's never going to happen. They love this one. Those fucking companies, they're going to do this lobbying and bribe, well, lobbying, bribing, same shit, just to keep getting away with it. So far, Nintendo hasn't clarified how it determines when a device has crossed the line. It never will, man. Is the decisions automated? You can bet it's going to be because it's easy for them to implement that. Will they rely on player reports or server-side flags? Probably the second one. Is there an appeals process? No, it doesn't exist. You can bet what kind of appeal you can get with Nintendo. Whatever the methods, the message is crystal clear. In the world of Switch 2, Nintendo will be watching for piracy and is playing for keeps. And since we are talking about, yeah, alternatives, yeah, piracy, yeah, they want to take away that that they are destroying the internet. What if I get a new indie or double A alternative that gives me what I want without supporting Nintendo? Well, because we have this other news. So, Power announced more changes, confirms they are forced by Nintendo. So they are forced. So Power, with the patent trolling, on something that a lot of people has been talking about. I'm one of the people that agrees with the sentiment that they are going Nintendo, despite that in the past saved gaming, they are the ones that they are going to destroy it. Because look at this, just like other examples. Let's look at Expedition 33rd, a game based with the classic style of RPG games from Japan, JRPGs. And suddenly, just because they use it as a mechanic, Square Enix, just because they patented, they are going to use that to flag others. Even in the go bankrupt, they still have that patents, and if someone takes it away, but they have money and lawyers to enforce it, they are just giving other companies, even Rockstar Games, Cockstar Games, they are going to uh, they are going to sue everyone just because they say, "Oh, I did these mechanics in my game. Oh, I'm going to patent this and patent that. I'm going to enforce it." So no other GTA clones exist ever again, despite the fact that other games offered same mechanics even if they were not sandbox. This is the kind of precedent Nintendo is setting here. Like I said, they're fucking evil. So I just brought you this headline because this is the thing that I want to share you. This is from Power themselves on their main account. So regarding the lawsuit changes to Power and the future, we would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share as much information as we would like, but we trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is ongoing. So yeah, I don't like that Power sided with Sony, but even I got to say this one: if they are still losing, and Nintendo gets away with this one, yeah, like I said, patent trolling is just open buffet for every single fucking company, AAA legacy. That the only thing they produce is dog shit. And since they don't want anyone else to capitalize on what they created, they are just going to continue down this path to make sure that no actual competition, because this is the most ironic part. Nintendo can't compete. They just proved that they can't compete if they are alternative. Oh, you have this game with these core mechanics within this art style. I'm going to copyright you and should do that because of the art style. The law said, nah, you can't, fucking bitch. Oh, well, I'm just fucking bitchy, and you know what? I'm going to tweak the law for my own benefit. And they did this patent trolling. They found a way to just, you know what? I want to shoot down this competition. And look at this. Again, one of those ones that bought power. Again, if it is someone that again you paid for, they have to remove gameplay just to comply with the offer that Nintendo is putting out here. Ah man, so look at this. Currently, we remain involved in prolonged legal proceedings regarding alleged patent infringement, and they don't want to say anything because probably they are going to Nintendo. You know them well; they have the money. They are just going to make another patent, and if Power is even announcing something that they are going to add to their games, the Nintendo is just going to instantly say, you know what, field is parent. We are going to receive response in this couple of weeks, and yeah, we are going to use that against them. Seriously, the way how, and this is not something that they are filing in the US, man. No, it's they're doing it in Japan. They're filing these patent trollings in Japan. I have to wonder how Nintendons there are willing to support this shit. Seriously, Nintendo drones doesn't matter, Western or Japanese or Asian, are all they are just the fucking third. They just trying to just spread like a monkey grabbing that door and throwing it at everyone else. So continue on. So how we continue to dispute these claims and assert the invalidity of the patents in question. However, we had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to development and distribution of power. Well, that is getting disrupted also. No, November 30, excuse me, of the last year, we released patch 0.3.11 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pulse by throwing pulse spears and instead changed it to a static summon next to the player. And this is something that really pissed everyone off that bought that game because that was like a main selling point also. So several other game mechanics were also changed within the patch. As may have speculated, these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players felt the same frustrations. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to an even greater deterioration of the gameplay experience for players, it was determined that the change was necessary. Yeah, because they wanted to Nintendo to make Palworld developers, Pocket Pair, to just throw the towel and you know what? Let's delete this game. That's what they wanted. That's what Nintendo wants, and they are still chasing it. So continue on. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that with the implementation of patch 0.5.5, we must make yet another compromise. From this patch for onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with pals. So it's like they are parenting mounting on a horse. I shit you not. This is like what they're fucking doing. It's like they're fucking button trolling. They are just parenting like real life mechanics. Oh, you cannot ride in a fucking horse because we own that patenting. Oh, so you're going to sue Rockstar if you end up doing that. Oh, you're going to sue Bethesda and Microsoft when they announced that in the trailer was with the Doom guy. He's riding a demon dragon. at full speed. Hmm, seriously, I know I'm someone that I have a Nintendo Switch because I got certain interest and came very late, but still, why would Nintendo will defend something like this? Is something that should be a case study. They should be experimented, like that Japanese uh, squad within China. I remember they did a movie from that man's behind the sun. I would put make the beta. Yeah, they should rewrite that kind of experiments to analyze Nintendo's what makes them to be so addicted without drugs to a piece of plastic when they are just when the company behind them screws them out so badly. So they screw up Power. So they are Power is just destroying their game at this point. Even if, in my opinion, if they're going to continue down this path, yeah, everyone paying attention to this at this point, they should just give up with that company, man, because it's not going to end well at this point. Even you say, oh, well, I want to support them by buying them. You are going to buy a inferior product before what it was posted at launch, before it was released at launch, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And the sad thing, yeah, this is what Nintendo wants at the end of the day. So of course, within statement, they are just saying, "Yeah, I will excuse us, please." And sadly, this shit is not going to stop. They already said it without saying it, and this is not ending there because while they were these two things, do you remember that case from that game in Japan that got screwed over by Nintendo of America? We got the news because also you have censorship. Because well, this is the last one. Yeah, you have dogshit EOS. They burned bridges with indie developers. Well, they burned bridges with customers, and now they are just doing this extra censorship, just like Sony did. Let me check. I share it here because I saw this one reporting it. This mean is going to be relevant here. Sugar Star. We received a response from Nintendo and ended up removing the Americas and Europe from distribution area. Not because the exposure was wrong, but because they felt that the character heads height, and the way the face is drawn should be changed so that the character does not look underage. The head of consent. The head of consent, the anal consent, the body of consent. Now it is the head face. Sweet Mother Jesus Christ, Señor San José, líbranos del mal. Nintendo is just so. So yeah, man, have fun. At this point, yeah, they're just going to get it from the outside. Don't give me even Nintendo money, a piece of money. Even if you are someone that has a Nintendo Switch and they are going to release that on Nintendo Switch for the Japanese release, you know what? You go to the outside. Steam, even I have my doubts, but the outside is the safest way. Shit. And this is why I want to wait for you to share this one. Because I know about these games from YouTube, my impressions of this situation instead. So, oh, that sex is better. But meanwhile, the second one, that's empowerment at all. Oh, you have to uglify that character in order to, yeah, be compliant with the age. Fictional characters. I just going to leave it there. So, within this half an hour, we have seen all the track record of the dog shit. So, anti-consumer, Anti-developers, and anti-freedom of creativity. I think the fourth one was number four is the number for that in Japan. Well, it's just monitoring everyone they do outside of Nintendo's reach. They want to oversee that like the fucking big brother watching you, and they are just telling that to your face, man. It's just fucking disgusting. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a pretty good weekend. And if you are seeing this video on May 10th, if you are with your mother, you are in good terms with them, you like her, you love her, you know what? Wish her a very good day. And that's it, man. And this is all I wanted to say, something positive because we haven't seen anything positive from all of this shit show with Nintendo. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and please take care.